For as long as I can remember, I've adored the works and fashion of Audrey Hepburn. I remember the first time my mother played Sabrina on VHS, and I was in awe upon seeing Sabrina's ball gown. One movie followed another, and at the age of 13, I would walk around the house singing the songs from My Fair Lady. It wasn't, however, until I first watched Breakfast at Tiffany's that I truly felt I had found a beautiful example of fashion that even I could replicate in the modern world. If you clicked on this video, I'm sure you've heard of Audrey Hepburn, and perhaps she's impacted your sense of style in some ways too. Today I wanted to talk about Audrey Hepburn's style, but specifically in the context of Breakfast at Tiffany's. As you may already know, Audrey Hepburn is one of the most well-known actresses and fashion icons from her time period, and her style is often considered to be timeless. So let us explore the idea of why I think it is that Breakfast at Tiffany surpasses Audrey's other works in terms of its fashion identity.
Good night.
Chapter 1. How did we end up here? During her career, Audrey was primarily put in princess-type and damsel roles until Breakfast at Tiffany's. The public adored her as a pure, playful, and beautiful woman who was graceful and delivered her acting only in roles that depicted these qualities. She was truly the very essence of romance and beauty, and her movies often were set from the view of the female gaze. So what changed? When Truman Capote's novella Breakfast at Tiffany's was planned to be adapted into film, the original plan at the request of Capote himself was to cast Marilyn Monroe for the role. However, Monroe was advised against playing what was considered to be a promiscuous role at the time, so she turned down the offer and performed in The Misfits instead. Thus, eventually the role landed to Audrey Hepburn, who initially also hesitated taking the role as it would compromise the image she had built thus far. However, she eventually accepted the role, considering it as a challenge to better her acting skills, stating that the extroverted party girl Holly Golightly was very different from her introverted self. And as many attest to this day, the fashion design of Breakfast at Tiffany's combined with Hepburn's acting on screen has left its mark in the history of fashion, forever to be referenced to this day. The interesting part about the story of Breakfast at Tiffany's is that the main character who Hepburn played, Holly Golightly, is vaguely put some type of escort, though her work is never specified or shown in detail. Despite this being the scene set up in the movie, Holly is adored and loved by many women in both style and personality.
How do I look?
Chapter 2. So what makes Audrey Hepburn's role as Holly Golightly so special? The simplest answer is the timelessness and elegance of Holly's style, which contradicts her messy personality and behavior. Up until this point in her films, Audrey Hepburn often wore extravagant and poofy dresses, expensive gowns, and perfectly tailored clothes. However, Holly Golightly is a character who lives in the Upper East Side of Manhattan in the 1960s, living paycheck to paycheck. This role was Hepburn's most relatable role to date, as she was a simple girl with no access to royalty, riches, or wealthy men. Her financial setup alone is something many women throughout the ages can relate to, and thus her fashion style was already accessible to a bigger audience. Though her style wasn't extravagant, it was timeless and minimalist with what I like to call a little something special added to the mix. So, how did the costume designer Edith Head and fashion designer Hubert de Givenchy achieve this style for Holly Golightly? To understand this, we must analyze Miss Golightly's style throughout the movie.
It's a mistake you always made, Doc, trying to love a wild thing.
Chapter 3. The Holly Golightly Style. As I've rewatched the movie throughout the years, I've noticed some key elements in Holly Golightly's style that anyone can recreate in our modern day. Firstly, due to her financial setup in the film, Holly Golightly is an outfit repeater. She reuses a lot of her clothes, especially the iconic black dresses. The way Holly achieves this is through a minimalist color palette that is 90% neutrals with the occasional pop of pink and peach. Holly's go-to color is black, followed by neutral beiges, sandstone, and gray. She often dresses either in fully monochrome outfits or mixed neutrals. With the use of a mostly neutral color palette, Holly can easily mix and match pieces in her wardrobe and add that something a little special via the use of pops of color, luxurious and fun textures, and accessories. These accessories include items such as exquisite hats, big earrings, pearls and diamonds, sunglasses, and gloves of varying length. Since the movie is set in summer and fall seasons, Holly generally wears ankle and below-the-knee length dresses, pencil skirts with button blouses, black kitten heels, brown and black high heels, loafers, hats of varying sizes and texture, and dress pants. Her dresses are almost exclusively calf or ankle length and more often than not cinch in at the waist and expanding slightly below it. Her outfit necklines include turtleneck, square neck, scoop neck, and asymmetric, which are all very fitting for Audrey Hepburn's figure and make her look classy. A lot of Holly's clothes are wardrobe staples, which means they are easily reusable in different seasons and settings. Because they're simple, they exude a certain elegance and are easy to tweak for different dress codes but never feel cheap nor rushed, despite her quite literally rushing out of her apartment and getting dressed up in a hurry several times throughout the movie. The final thing to note is that Holly's makeup is never taking the attention away from the rest of her outfit. It remains standard with classic eyeliner but doesn't ever exceed this look or exaggerate her features. This is important because the makeup complements her outfits but doesn't ever take center stage.
A slob without a name.
Chapter 4. Holly, the fashion icon. At the end of the day, Holly Golightly's elegant, minimalist, and timeless style, despite her very messy personality, is what makes her a fashion icon. It is hard to go wrong with a little black dress or a French twist updo, and even in her most mundane outfits, Holly doesn't miss a beat. With her style being stripped off the extravagant and luxurious costume design Audrey Hepburn was used to in the past, she managed to elevate a complex and messy character into a memorable fashion role model. With the use of simple silhouettes and color palettes with fun accessorizing, Audrey's Holly Golightly is a character whose fashion can be recreated in any time period and will always, as we say in our current age, serve. I must also add that a huge part of what makes Holly so elegant and likable is the fact that she is played by Audrey Hepburn. I think Breakfast at Tiffany's would have never received as positive of a reception as it did if Holly were played by Marilyn Monroe or someone else than Audrey. Because of Audrey's rather fragile and innocent appearance, I think she added a level of "I'm just a girl" element into Holly that was believable and relatable to her audience. We can all look put together on the outside and still be messy and anxious on the inside. And if you, like I, enjoy exploring fashion from many perspectives like I have today, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. Before I end this video, I'd also like to give a shout out to the rest of the characters. As much as I despise George Peppard, the actor of Paul Barjack, because of his renowned terrible behavior on set of the movie, his costume design was also very classy and easy to recreate. The suit and tie combination would most likely blend in with the corporate world of today, and it's hard to go wrong with a white button-up, tie, and a trench coat. For my friends who are looking for alternative inspiration within the movie, though the character Emily Eustace, aka 2E, had her role significantly reduced to a minor role due to George Peppard's demands, her few scenes in the movie showcase a fantastic sense of style, though more heavily tied to the 60s decade fashion. Overall, I believe the movie has a lot of different characters you could pull fashion inspiration from, but notably, Holly's is the most quintessential of the bunch. So how can you recreate these iconic outfits? Let me show you some outfits I came up with that are inspired by Holly's most notable outfits throughout the movie. We're starting off with a slightly elevated long black dress. Though this dress personally reminds me more of Marilyn Monroe's outfits from Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, I think it has the potential in replicating a Holly-like outfit such as the one from the beginning of the movie. Also, apologies for the messy hairdo, I was really struggling tying it up as it is too short for a Holly Golightly updo. The second outfit is what I would call a modern interpretation with a vintage twist. This vintage Victoria's Secret nightgown is beautiful yet a little scandalous, and it's easy to style for special nights out. Personally, I've enjoyed wearing it without gloves, but each to their own. If you thought I wouldn't literally copy Holly's pajama outfit, you're mistaken. It's simple, but it's easy to wear around the house, or even outdoors if you dress it up a little bit. All in all, a cozy outfit. I couldn't make this video without copying the trench coat outfit that is displayed both in the middle and at the end of the movie. The scarf is completely optional, but adds a little extra elegance should you want that, and I think this look is truly appreciated to this very day. This black and white outfit is based off of one of Holly's and Paul's final hangouts. A simple turtleneck and pants combination is something that isn't tied to a specific decade and works just as well in the modern day as it did back then. I find that this outfit is also similar to Audrey Hepburn's personal style, which I'd be happy to discuss more in a separate video for anyone interested. The final outfit is a modern and tweaked interpretation of Holly's pink dress set. This sparkly dress and heels combo works in the modern day in my opinion, though if I got my hands on it, I wouldn't be opposed to wearing that same pink dress. All in all, a simple going out party dress fitting for the party girl that Holly is. And that's everything for today's video. Thank you for watching and let me know if you have any other video requests. And with that, I'll see you next time.